Hi, this is Mr. Dada. My first lesson today is on basic drafting tools and how to use them properly. Right now you're looking at the drafting board, and if we notice, if we took a closer look, you would see the metal edge on the side of the board, and that is for our T-square, so that we always have a nice square edge to work off of. Like I said, this is the T-square, which is used to make horizontal lines, and it's used in conjunction with some other tools I'll show you. Now, if you don't have a drafting board and you wanted to draft at home, you still could if you had a table with a nice straight edge on the side that you could use in conjunction with your T-square. You get the same results. Make sure that table is nice and flat and smooth so that your pencil doesn't get caught in any bumps or scratches that might be in that surface. That's the reason for this mat that you see on top of our drafting board. Just creates a nice smooth surface for your pencil. So your T-square, like I said, is used for drawing horizontal lines. And notice I put it on this edge. If you're righty, you're probably going to have this on the left edge. You always want to get in the habit of just tugging on that slightly and making sure it's always tight to this edge. If it's ever off a little bit, then your lines are going to be off and not square with your paper. You never want to turn this way and work on either of these two edges. You always have to be either on this edge, or if you're lefty, you may prefer to turn your T-square and work off the opposite edge. Like I said, you're going to use this tool to draw horizontal lines. And you just want to make sure you kind of put some pressure down on it when you're drawing so it doesn't move. Another important thing before you get started is to take your tools and make sure they're clean. Get a damp paper towel and clean these surfaces off, because you'll be surprised how much pencil dust accumulates on that edge over time. So all your tools that come into contact with the paper, like your squares as well, you want to clean them off every once in a while, and that'll help you prevent smudging on your paper. So I showed you how to draw a horizontal line with your T-square, and if I look at my two triangles, my two main triangles that I'm going to use will be the 45 degree, 45 90, and or the 30 60 90 degree triangle. When I use my triangle, I have to use it in conjunction with my T-square. So anytime I want to make vertical lines, I make sure my T-square is nice and tight against this edge. I place my triangle on the T-square, and then I can draw these vertical lines, or of course, any angle that I desire. Now, we talked about smudging if our tools are dirty, and you'll see that accumulate on your paper, and it's hard to get rid of sometimes. It doesn't always erase. Another thing that can happen is your pencil, when you draw a line, can leave that dust behind. So another good practice and tool to have is a dry cleaning pad. It is a pad that has eraser dust inside of it. So if you just take this and tap it a couple times on your paper, you're going to see very fine dust that it leaves behind. And that creates basically a microscopic barrier between your tool and your paper to glide on. And that barrier can help, again, prevent smudging when you may miss if there's a little bit of dust there. But if you do see pencil dust after you draw a line, you should also have a little mini duster to clean your paper off every once in a while to again prevent smudging. So a duster is a great tool to have to keep your paper clean. And then if you need to, you can reapply a little bit of that eraser dust. So now you know how to use the T-square in conjunction with your two triangles, 45 degree and the 30, 60, 90. Some other tools you'll need: an architect scale. There are different scales on here that we'll get into later, 1/4 inch scale, 1/8 scale, and so on. But for now, we're just going to use our 16th inch ruler. Some other tools we may use: a circle template. How do we use this? If you look carefully, not sure how well you can see it on here, but I'll show you in class. See these little black lines that surround each circle, and you're going to see one of those black lines at the quadrant of each circle. So I go ahead and trace this without moving my circle template. I want to put a little mark very lightly at each one of those points at each quadrant. Now I can go ahead and move my circle template, and that's going to allow me to be able to find the center of that circle since I made those little tick marks. And later on, you're going to learn how to draw center lines for this circle. So those 4 tick marks will be very important. Other tools to be familiar with: French curve, a protractor, a compass, and an eraser shield. Very useful tool for doing precise erasing when you have a lot of lines on your paper or you just need to erase very carefully. This tool can be very helpful, and I'll show you how to use that in the next video. That's basically it for now. The next video, I'll show you how to tape the paper down correctly and give you a couple more tricks. Thanks for watching.